It's what we wanted, right? Let's go. The tank is in full effect, people. It is in full effect, for sure. And we all know, I've said it a million times, I'm not a tank guy. I'm not a tank guy. I like to try to win. Even if we're trying to win with young guys, I like to try to win. But even tonight, we lost, which for most people is exactly what we want. But we didn't lose the way that I think we should be losing. If that makes sense, right? If that makes sense. We didn't lose the way that I think we should be losing. If we're going to lose games, which we are because we're not a good team, we're going to lose games. But if we're going to lose games, then we need to lose with the young guys, and we at least need to lose with effort. At least lose with effort. And I didn't really see the effort. You know, the effort looked a little bit suspect to me tonight. And I'm not happy with that. You know, I don't mind losing a game. I don't mind us using our young guys to develop them and learn how to play. That's good. I like that. That's fine. That's exactly what we need to do. But we need to play with effort. And we need to look like we're trying to do something. Trying to do something. I'm telling you, it's gonna be rough. This last stretch is gonna be rough. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be rough. For me, it is. If the team is not playing hard, it's gonna be rough for me. I need the guys to play hard, no matter what the situation, no matter what the circumstances. Winning, losing, we got to play hard like we want it, like we want to be there. Guys, you're getting paid millions for this. You know what I'm saying? You're getting paid millions for this. So play hard. Play like you want to win. I don't care if you're playing the youngest guys ever on earth. I don't care if you're playing babies. Jeff Hornacek, if you're playing babies, kick him in the pamper and make him play hard. You know what I'm saying? You got to play hard. And if you're not playing hard, you're not developing. You're not learning. You know, when I see lackadaisical efforts like this, it makes me question whether or not these guys are learning. I do understand, you know, with the type of team that we have, there's going to be efforts like this. I get that. You know what I'm saying? I definitely get it. But when I see efforts like this, that's when I want Jeff Hornacek to really light into him. I don't care if it's in the media, in the locker room. He's got to light into him. Light into him. You know, we're going to talk about Hornacek in a minute, but I do want to recap the game. I want to recap it because we deserve to be embarrassed, in my opinion. You know, got to play with effort, got to play with energy. And I see people saying that I joined the dark side. I'm joining the tank, and like I said, I'm not a tank type of guy. I guess my definition of tank is different than your definition of tank. You know what I'm saying? My definition of tank is even if you're playing the young guys and they start to win, you sit them down so that you don't win. That's my idea of tanking. What I want us to do, and what I hope we are doing, is play the young guys to develop them. And if we start winning, good. That's beautiful. If we don't, then oh well, that's okay. That is that's my definition. You know what I'm saying? But that's cool. You know, whatever it is, I'm with you. You know, I'm with you. But whatever we do, we still have to play hard. We have to, and this is the problem. This is where, this is what I was talking about earlier in the season when people were saying, you say there's no definition of tank. I disagree with you, Ben. I disagree. Tanking to me is when you are losing on purpose. You are purposely losing. Right? So if you are tanking, you purposely sit down your top players. You could maybe make it into the AFC, but you purposely sit down your top players so that you don't make it into the AFC. That's my idea of tanking. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I believe. That's what I see tanking is. So, if, whatever, people have their different definitions, I'm not here to argue that, it's cool. My thing is that the team needs to play hard, but this is what I was talking about in the beginning of the season when people were saying we need to tank right now. We need to just start losing. We need to lose on purpose. But once you start tanking and it's obvious that you start to tank, you get efforts like this. People stop playing. People are no longer interested in the team. They're no longer interested. And once that happens, your young guys are not developing. I don't care what anyone says. You're losing development from your young guys. Because when your team plays lazy and your team plays with no effort, no energy, and uninterested in the game, there is no way that your young guys can learn how to play the basketball game, because now they're not playing at a high level. They're not playing at a high level. And they're not trying to play at a high level. The preparation goes away. Players are no longer interested in preparing to win or trying to win, because the writing is on the wall that management no longer wants to win games. That's a problem. And that is a problem with trying to teach young guys how to win and trying to develop young guys into winners. That's a problem to me. Which lands you in a very difficult situation. Because at a certain point in the season, you when you're losing, you have to play the young players. Has to be done. So if you're playing the young players, then you have to find a way to keep everyone motivated to play like you want to win. That means, yes, you play the young players, but you tell them, guys, we're trying to win this game still. And you prepare like you're trying to win this game, and you find a way to motivate them to win the game. And one of the ways to do it is not play as many veterans. We're still playing a lot of veterans. We played a lot of vets tonight. I'm not going to be as mad. I know who's Mark's going to get on and holler about Jack and all kinds of stuff. That's cool. I get it. I fully understand. But if they have a plan, they say after the All-Star break, we're going to make lineup changes. Give the guys their due, and keep to a plan. I get that. I get that. That makes, to me, it makes sense when you have a plan, to kind of stick to your plan. That just keeps guys kind of, it keeps guys on board. There's a lot to go with, having a plan and sticking with a plan. Let me give a quick shout out to Siobhan Robinson for Super Chat. I appreciate it. Definitely appreciate the Super Chat. Thank you very much. And, Siobhan says, Tim Hardaway's agent needs to be put on trial for this heist. Hey, man. Tim Hardaway is... He played, let's see, how many minutes did Tim Hardaway play tonight? Tim Hardaway, let's see. Let's check this out. Tim Hardaway played 34 minutes tonight. It's uncalled for, in my opinion, if he's not playing that well. I understand that he's fairly young and supposed to be part of our future. I get that. Fully understand that. You know what I'm saying? But if he's not playing, I mean, he played 34 minutes and he did nothing. Nothing in 34 minutes. 9 points. He shot 25% from the field. 2 rebounds, 3 assists. And I know you guys want to get, Hornacek will probably say, well, he's a shooter. He needs to play in the game so he can shoot himself out of his slump. Let him shoot himself. Excuse me. Let him shoot himself out of his slump in practice or in a shoot around or something. Not now, because I understand we want to lose, but let's not look just ridiculous doing it. Come on. Let's not look ridiculous. Let's at least try to look formidable, compete. Hardaway, 4 for 16. Nine points. 34 minutes. Dotson could have used those minutes, right? This guy Joe, appreciate the congrats. I think Brian the other day congrated me on the 2,000 subs. I appreciate that. I think Dotson could have used his minutes. You know what I'm saying? I don't like what I saw tonight. Don't like it. Don't like it at all. French Unicorn, man. Big shout out. Big shout out to the French Unicorn. Thank you for the super chat, my brother. You know what I'm saying? I know you wanted to get on last night just before I was getting off, but we couldn't do it. But he gives French Unicorn gives a shout out to Mighty Knicks. Shout out to Who's Mark, Ishmael Hernandez, BN, and the whole NBK family. Much love. Says can't wait. I can't watch Jeff's distribution of minutes any longer. I'm 100% with you, bro. 100%. And we're going to get into Jeff Hornacek, but it's 100%, man. 100%. Well, we might as well talk about Jeff Hornacek right now. Because I'm harping on, the team. And I went right into the effort. I didn't even recap the game. I just went right into talking about team effort because it kind of pissed me off. It pisses me off anytime I see a team not giving effort. With the teams that I coach, if they don't give effort when we get in practice, it's a slaughter. It is a slaughter. I run them till the soles come off their shoes. I can't stand not giving effort. That is, you can put yourself in position to win any game if you give effort. Really. You can put yourself in position to be successful if you just give effort. And I'm putting this on Hornacek. I'm putting it on Hornacek. It's Hornacek's job to make sure that guys are playing hard. Whether it's the message to the team, his ability to hold guys accountable, whatever it is, he has to find a way to do it. He's got to find a way to do it. And when you see performances like tonight, to me that says he's not doing it. Because that is the one thing. Listen, if there's a guy that you're guarding that's just better than you, just faster than you, stronger than you, and you can't stop him from going to the basket, then maybe that's out of your control. Your shot, that might be out of your control. The one thing that you can always control is your effort. Always. You can always control your effort. Nothing will ever stop you from controlling your effort. And we didn't give it. And I put it on Hornacek. Put it on Hornacek. Hornacek has to make these guys give effort. Even though, you're going to play the young guys. you got to make sure when the vets are out there, they're giving effort. That's going to be a problem, because if he continues to play vets 30 minutes a game like he did today, right? If he's going to continue to do that, then in my opinion, although Jerry Jack says the right things, and I'm not going to say that Jerry Jack isn't going to give effort. I believe he's a professional and he will. But it's human nature. If you're going to play Michael Beasley 39 minutes, Cancer 33 minutes, okay, I can get that, right? He's 25 years old. Hardaway 34 minutes. Courtney Lee played 30 minutes. If you're going to play these guys these numbers, these amount of minutes, they better be giving effort on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Because for a vet who's been in the league 8, 9, 10 years, 13 years like Jared Jack, at this point in the season, it is very easy for them to say, there's no reason for me to give effort. You know, especially when you have a player that has established himself in the league and people know what they can do. At this point in the season, there's no reason for them to give effort. The only reason really would be to show that they're a professional. You know, and during the game broadcast, you know, they kind of touched on a little bit, you know, that this is a time where professional athletes, veterans, you know, kind of show the makeup of who they are. Not just veterans, but young guys. But if you want to ensure that the team is going to play with energy and effort, you got to play the young guys. Because, see, they're all fighting to make a mark for themselves in the league. Right? They're fighting to make a mark for themselves in the league. So they're going to play. That's without a doubt. They're going to play with energy and they're going to play with effort every possession on the floor. And that's on Hornacek. You know, it's on Hornacek. And, you know, we'll see what he does after the All-Star break. I'm expecting tomorrow night to be much of the same. But there's still some things that he could have did. Even if he decided to play these guys minutes. He didn't play Ntilikina and Moutier together, right? Didn't play him together. Now, if he's treating it like it's preseason, lineups are going to change around. Lineups are going to move around. So I see some people talking about his rotations. This is the wrong time to complain about his rotations, because if this is the point in the season where we're developing young players and we're trying to find out who is going to be here long term, then rotations are going to change. They're going to move around, right? Because you're trying to figure out who can do what, who plays well with who, you know, who can perform during tight spots in the game, if we have any more tight spots for the rest of the season. So, you know, complaining about, in my opinion, complaining about his rotations at this point, yeah, you're right. They've been messed up all year, but this is not the time to complain about his rotations. Because at this point, you have no rotation. If our concern is about the young players and trying to help these guys learn and develop, and also trying them out to see who's going to be here, then you're basically playing preseason basketball. And when you play preseason basketball, you don't really have a set rotation yet. You're trying to figure out who can do what. That's what we're supposed to be doing, right? You know what I'm saying? That's what we're supposed to be doing right now. I can understand 10 games ago complaining about his rotations because we were trying to win ball games. We were trying to fight for that playoff spot. But now, at this point, we're not fighting for the playoff spot anymore, because we're out of it, basically. So now we're trying to see who can do what. So, I mean, you know, there might be a game where he tries out and sees, can Moutier and Ntilikina play together? And then he might, looks like tonight, well, let me see what they do. How can Moutier command the floor by himself? How does Moutier and Trey Burke look together? That's going to happen. That's going to happen. You know, so I think it is faulty right now. Right now, I think it's faulty to complain about rotations, because this is what you got to do if you're trying guys out. If you're trying guys out for later, this is what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? It's what you got to do. All right. So one thing that we are not as Knicks fans, like I said it before, we are the most bipolar fans in the world. From every other sport team, we are the most bipolar fans. It doesn't matter what we do. Somebody's going to get mad about something. Somebody is going to get mad about something. I mean, they've already alluded to we're going to have lineup changes after the All-Star game, but we can't wait until after the All-Star game. I mean, there's always going to be something, and I'm part of it. I'm not saying I'm part of it. I know I'm part of it. I'm just concerned that Hornacek is not the guy, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm concerned that Hornacek is not the guy to develop these young players. That's my concern right now, and that's what I wanted to get to. We're talking about Hornacek. I'm just not sure he's the guy to develop them. And we talk about these last 20 some odd games of the season. If you're putting guys out there, it could hurt a guy's development if you don't have the right people developing them. I'm concerned about that, for sure. I'm definitely concerned about that, because a guy at 19 years old, 21 years old, 22 years old, these guys are still sensitive. And they're moldable. And if you're not molding them the correct way, then you're in trouble. You know what I'm saying? These guys are moldable right now. You can build these guys up to be the type of player that you want at this point in their careers. Even though Moutier is in his third year in the league, he is still very moldable. And I'm really concerned about Hornacek being the guy to teach him. I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure if he's the one to teach these guys. As we can see with the effort of the team tonight, and I'm sure there's a lot of things that factor into it. Playing vets 30 minutes a game when they know that you are, you have eyes, and I'm sure they've already had conversations with these vets. You have eyes on playing the young guys in the next, after the All-Star break. You play them guys 30 minutes a game, they may not be as motivated to play well. And then when there's some guys that are already, guys like Michael Beasley. I'm not gonna say Courtney Lee. I think Courtney Lee is a professional. He's gonna play hard. Guys like Beasley, maybe Jared Jack. I think Jared Jack is a pro, but maybe Jared Jack. Some of these guys that know that they may not be here next year. What's the only incentive to play hard is hopes that you're playing for a contract for another team for next year. But these guys have a record in the league, and the league knows what they can do already. So when you're playing older guys like this at this point in the season, it's gonna be 39 minutes for Beasley, 34 for Hardaway, 30 for Lee. You might get some of these kind of efforts. Hornacek got to keep the young guys in there and motivate them to play hard. So, that's what we got to be looking for after. They said it's going to be some lineup changes after the All-Star break. I guess that's what we'll be looking for to see. Now we'll really get to see, do these young guys play the way hard with effort, not like they played tonight, of course. Tough, gritty. Let's open up the lines. Let's talk a little bit. I want to hear you guys out. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't like the effort. Didn't like the effort at all. So I want to hear you guys out. I talked about effort before I even got to anything else. So now, that's how I do it sometimes. That's how I do it. Looking at the recap of the game, while waiting for somebody to ring the bell. All right, who we got here? Oh, they hung up. Siobhan, you say, if you're still doing experiments at the end of the season, you need to take that long stroll, and this team is softer than, hold up, I got blocked. Softer than a wet Twinkie. Well, I think the thing, Siobhan, is you get after the All-Star break. Hold on for 1 minute, man. After the All-Star break, and he really starts playing these young guys, then you're gonna see him experimenting. He has no choice but to experiment at that point. You know what I'm saying? No choice but to experiment at that point. Because now he's playing a bunch of guys that he doesn't know, who's gonna do what. You know what I'm saying? You got Isaiah Hicks, you got Luke Cornett, you got Moutier. So now you got Trey Burke. You're still gonna be trying to learn what these guys are gonna do together. So there's gonna be some experimenting once the All-Star break is over. So yeah, the rotations are gonna change. All right. On the call, I got my man Joshua on the line. What's up, Joshua?
Yo, what's good? What's good, Sam? How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm great. I'm just a little flustered. Feel me? What's up, chat? I see y'all. Y'all speaking facts.
You say you're a little flustered.
The effort was horrible today. They gave up. It was just sad. I was looking at Jack in third quarter when he made that luck three.
Right.
And his head is just in there like, yo, what is going on? Team just playing bad. Tim Hardaway taking crazy shots, missing. My son BN was talking like Hicks was getting minutes over Dotson. Hicks just got on the team too.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
And Hicks, I don't even think Hicks is ready to be here. I think.
He's definitely not ready.
I think Hicks need to go back down to the G League, really.
Oh yeah, facts. That was a waste of roster space. But yeah, Jeff is going this. I think he's going this season. He can't handle the team. Team's giving up on him. He's not Jerry Sloan type. Like, you see how he was under Jerry Sloan. Jerry Sloan was a great coach. He was on his players and all that.
Right.
I guess he didn't pick that up from him, and he's just too soft.
Yeah.
He's not getting in the guys' faces and all that, so it sucks.
Yeah, he's got to. I mean, we've seen it earlier in the season, but it's really tailed off. And this is the part of the season that's really challenging, because what Perry needs to do is make sure that the coaches are staying focused and the coaches continue to prepare to win. Right? Even though we're playing young guys, the coaches, Scott Perry needs to make sure that the coaches are doing it as well, because they set the tone. No matter what it is, the coaches set the tone.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And if the coaches aren't preparing and being sharp and remaining sharp, then the players are gonna follow after them. And they're not going to stay sharp. They're not going to prepare. The coaches have to set the tone. And I can see it being easy for a coach to not be as motivated as well.
Yep.
So
season over. Season been over when KP got hurt. Season been over when it was under 7 games. I mean, they got. I don't know.
Yeah, so the coaches have to stay motivated as well, and the coaches have to continue to prepare You know, that's how you're gonna teach. That's how you're gonna teach these young guys.
See, but my
You know
thing
what I
is
mean?
like, what you think? Let's say like, cause he still has like 2 years on his contract, right?
Who?
Jeff Hornacek.
Jeff Hornacek is here. I think I believe so.
Yeah,
Let me
I think he
see.
got
Last
2 years.
year was his first year. I think he got a 5-year contract.
Oh, it wasn't 3. I
No,
thought he
I'm
got
sorry.
3.
I'm sorry. No, he had a 3-year contract.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
3-year
yeah.
contract.
Cause my thing is like, every time we get a coach, we always fire enough. If something don't go right, we always fire. I feel like if we just continue to build, but it's always the same thing with coaches in New York. They just can't handle it. It's crazy.
Um,
I don't know.
well, the thing is, I think it's not just the coaches that change, but it's also management that changes, right?
Yeah, true. True.
I mean, since Melo, since before Melo, but while Melo was here, you know, he was brought in under Donnie Walsh,
Yeah.
right? And then he had what's his name? I can't even think of his name.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah,
Right?
you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. And then Phil Jackson.
Oh yeah, it was Glenn Grunwald. Yeah.
Glenn Grunwald, yeah.
Yeah, there we
Right.
go.
So you had he was brought in under Donnie Walsh. Then he
Yep.
had Grunwald. And then Phil Jackson, right?
Mhm.
Steve Mills for a stint, and then Phil Jackson.
Yep.
And then now Scott Perry and Steve Mills. And he was traded out under Scott Perry and Steve Mills. Melo was here for 7 years, 6.5 years. That's 4 different people. 4 different GMs or presidents. You know, and when you get a new GM and a new president, they're gonna have their idea of the type of basketball that they want to play, and they're gonna look to bring in a coach.
Yep.
That has that kind of philosophy.
That's true.
What needs to happen is once we, you know, hopefully we're building the foundation, right? And then once we start to actually build, then we can stay consistent.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
because staying consistent with the wrong people can hurt you as well. You know, so if Hornacek isn't the guy, but we stay with him just to be consistent, then that might not work either. You know, we got to find that right mix, and then stay consistent. We got to find the right people, put the right people in here, and then be consistent.
True.
Yeah. So the time is up, but if you got one more question, I'll give you one more question because I know I talked a lot.
Just to the fans, keep watching the show. The show's lit.
Appreciate
I'm
you,
new
bro.
here. I really appreciate the show. I feel the love, and just stay humble, guys. We gonna get there one day.
We're gonna get there. All right, bro. Appreciate it.
All right, I'll stay up.
Appreciate it. Yeah, man. The New York Knicks. What can we say about it? And you know, Hornacek, he may or may not be the guy. I don't think he's the guy. I know he's going to finish out this year, and I still believe that Scott Perry is going to bring him back next year, but I'm not totally convinced that he's the guy. You know what I'm saying? Not totally convinced that he's the guy. Who's Mark? What's popping, bro?
What's popping? It's my turn?
It is your turn, my man.
It's my turn?
Hold on.
Why TJ McCollum play better than the whole Knicks?
Man, TJ McCollum.
Someone asked me that question.
Yo, TJ McCollum has been cooking us since he hit that game winner in the Garden a couple years ago. There's always
That was actually
one.
last year.
Yeah, was it? Yeah, last year. I'm talking about, yeah. You know what? The Knicks go through so much. And so much happens around the Knicks. You know, a short period seems like a long period with the Knicks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you ain't lying. I want to go back to when you said, you know, as Knicks fans, we unstable. Yeah, you're right. But let me give you a intro
We
to why
are,
we're
bro.
unstable.
We
I'm
are
gonna
unstable.
give you the cause of this. I'm gonna give you the cause of this. Stating back in 2000, let's say 3 or 4, we signed Marbury, one of the most selfish players to ever play in the game of NBA.
Mm-hmm.
2, we hire Isaiah Thomas. Look what he did.
Mm-hmm.
We hired a coach in what was the Detroit coach that got fired after he took him to the finals?
Larry Brown.
Larry
No.
Brown.
Yeah,
We
Larry
didn't keep
Brown.
him. Yeah, we didn't even keep him less than a year. We got rid of him. We draft Shannon Fry, we draft Nate Robinson, we draft David Lee, and we draft Trevor Ariza. They all left. Two of them won rings, and the rest of them had great NBA careers.
Mm-hmm.
Then we hire Mike D'Antoni at the time with no point guard, playing with Chris Duhon. That's another. Then we trade the first pick for Andre Bajani.
First round pick.
First
round pick.
And that pick was I forgot. We drafted George Hill for number 8. When we could have took DeRozan that year.
Jordan Hill.
When we could have took DeRozan that year, that went 10th pick. We traded for Carmelo when we should have waited. We detrimented a whole team for him. And it put us in a bad spot until we got Mike Woodson, one of the most disciplined coaches we had, and we didn't keep him after that one successful year, which we should have kept because he got J.R. Smith and he got Melo to play the game right.
Mm-hmm.
We get rid of Donnie Walsh, which had cleared the cap space for us at that time when it was hard to. He cleared it. Then we fired Gruntwall that put that 2012-13 team together, which won 54 games and would have went to the semifinals if it wasn't for Tyson Chandler and J.R. Smith couldn't hit a shot. And now we get Phil Jackson. And he had the audacity to even put KP in trade talks. You just don't do that. You don't do that. You don't do that. Then we fire him, and then we end up with what we have now.
Mm-hmm.
A team that doesn't play hard, that doesn't set screens hard, that doesn't play with no type of urgency. This coach, I tell y'all guys, that smirk that he puts on his face, it's nonchalant. And it's real disrespectful to people that pay their money to come watch the Knicks because it's no type of aggression coming from him. None. I'm watching the Philly coach. He sometimes I look at him, I say, yo, he's like a madman. But his teams play hard. Why is TJ McCollum a 6 feet white guy killing us? Why?
Well, look. But let's stick with what you were saying. I know you're giving the history as to why Knicks fans had the right to be upset.
This is why we're unstable because there's no type of consistency. There was none.
But we had the right. We had the right to be upset. We definitely do, and we wanted.
Oh wait! Hold on, Simeon.
Hold up. We want a championship. We won a championship, right? Because we haven't won one in 40 whatever years. But as fans ourselves, even if the team is doing well, half of us are on board for this, half of us are on board for that. You know what I'm saying? We are. That's what I say when I say bipolar.
Yeah.
Like we are the most bipolar group. We barely ever support our players. Melo was here. He took a lot of heat.
I loved the Melo when he was here. But I just said if they'd have put the right pieces together,
I agree. I'm 100%.
He was that offensive tool that could have took it to the finals. I don't care what nobody says.
I'm 100% with you. 100% with you.
You got to put talent around him, just like they do for LeBron.
Melo was here. He took all the heat, and it was only a amount of time before KP. You know, as soon as KP steps up to be the man, now the heat is on KP. You know, and you know, he's still young. I know I've said, you know, things about KP. But everything that I've always said is always, can he develop? I'm not sure. I'm waiting to see.
Well,
I never knocked him. I never tried to knock him.
For what he is now, he developed well because they didn't have him this good. No one had him this good.
Right.
He developed well. It's just with him, it takes time. It's just gonna take time.
You're right.
I'm fine with where KP's at. He's developed well. He's on course.
Yeah, a lot of our Knicks fans, I see people ready to trade him. Dead up. I see people ready to trade them.
Yeah, because that's dumb. You know but
that's what I'm saying about us being a bipolar group. We are a very bipolar group of Knicks fans, and we're very impatient. But we have the right to want to, you know, we have the right to want to be passionate and want to win that championship because it's been so long.
And
guess we've seen so many crazy things happen with the Knicks.
This is one dumb thing the Knicks did. Oh, my God. This probably has to go down in one of the worst contracts in NBA history. Remember when we gave Jared Jeffries $120 million like he was LeBron James? Does anybody remember that contract?
You said Jared Jeffries?
Yeah, remember Jared Jeffries?
Was it Jared Jeffries, $120 million?
You remember Jared Jeffries when Isaiah Thomas brought him in for $120 million?
I remember Jared Jeffries. I don't know if it was 120. Maybe it was 120 million.
It was 120. I'm sure of that. I'm very sure of that because
I know we gave Jerome
when
James,
he came out of college,
we gave Jerome James a crazy contract.
We gave him $30 million at that time. I remember that I think it was a 3-year, $30 million contract at the time.
Let's see.
He shouldn't have got $30 million at all.
Let's see what we had.
Because when he came out of college, and I know why they gave Jared Jeffries that $120 million because when he was in college, that boy was something. He was a player in college. And then when he went to Washington, he was a defensive tool. And when he came to New York, the nigga became a shell of himself.
Right, they gave him $30 million.
Yeah.
They gave him $30 million, not $120 million.
Who?
Jared Jeffries.
Who? Oh yeah, my bad.
Yeah, Jared Jeffries.
$30 million.
It still was a big contract.
At that time, that was franchise money. $30 million
contract at the time.
That's a big contract.
Yeah, that was a big contract at the time.
So this is why we're unstable. I'm just, when I'm watching them, they just not setting the screen. They're not hitting the players. Right. I'm watching Embiid kill us on picks and screens.
Yeah,
he's just destroying them.
Yeah, and that's Hornacek, in my opinion.
Yeah, because he has no defense adjustment. There's no defense adjustment when you watch them come out of timeouts.
Right.
There's none.
Right.
There's none.
Right. That's Hornacek. All those
listen, Tim Hardaway, he's a good player, but he's like the fourth good player, like to a team. He's a quality player, but he ain't your second, he ain't your third. He's maybe fourth because he is too erratic. He's too tunnel vision.
Yeah. Right.
And he's gonna get traded probably next year because that's a tradable contract going into next year.
Maybe, depending on how he performs. You know what I'm saying? We got to see how he finishes out the year, then how he starts the year.
Why? Let me ask you a question.
You know what? I had said it way in the beginning of the season that I would have been willing to trade Tim Hardaway for a small forward.
You listen, I would trade him for any 3-and-D guy right now.
Yep. But
right now.
So. But hey, Mark, man, of course I love the call. Let me get on to another caller, bro.
Doing what he do. Because that boy, he really plays hard. Like every other night I watch him.
Yeah.
He plays hard. Knicks just don't play hard for this coach. And the only coach that's going to put it into them, to me, is that Fizdale. Because if he had Grizzlies playing the way they play, then come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
All right, man. Let me get on to another caller. Appreciate the call, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of stuff. Knicks fans, we go through a whole lot. That's without a doubt. We go through a whole lot, and we definitely deserve to be mad. We deserve to, we deserve everything that we say. We deserve to say everything that we say. You know what I'm saying? But we are definitely a very, very, yeah, it's been 30 long years since we've been good, right? We're definitely a bipolar group. You know what I mean? Yeah. Mr. Ellis, can you turn that all the way down in the back so there's not an echo, please? Yeah, I don't got you on yet. I'm about to get you on in a minute. All right. But yes, Knicks fans. It's definitely a hard life being a Knicks fan. For sure. But we stick it out and we're in there. I got my man Jonathan Ellis on the line. What's up, Jonathan?
Yo, what's going on, man? What's going on, Simeon?
What's popping with you, bro? I'm chilling, man. How you feel?
I'm good, man. Chilling, watching these Knicks struggle as usual. I'm embracing the tank, though, man. I'm embracing the tank right now.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Knicks fans. Hey, can you turn that all the way down in the back? Cause there's we got an echo going on.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, if you could turn that all the way down. There we go. All right, you ready? Go ahead.
I think I'm good now.
Yep.
All right, cool. So my question for you is, we traded Willie recently, so we got like an open roster spot right now. So I don't know, what do you think we're gonna do with that open roster spot?
Well, it looks like right now, I don't know if Luke Cornett and Isaiah Hicks, I'm not sure if they're filling up a roster spot.
Right.
Or I'm not sure how that counts as far as the roster spot is concerned. But with that, I think if they sign one of them guys, then they'll fill into that roster spot. Right.
Okay.
And then you would have 15 guys signed. So I think maybe that roster spot's still open, but I'm not sure. But that roster spot might still be open. And if they can find, guys are still getting waived from teams. Maybe if they can find somebody very young, of course they can't do any trades now, but if they can find somebody very young to bring in,
right?
That might be the move. Someone young, maybe, or find somebody off of waivers. Who knows?
Yeah, I know. I know there was scouting in the G League like a couple of days ago for somebody, so that's a possibility. And I think being on a two-way contract, I think you only have a certain amount of games you can play, and after those certain games, you have to be signed to a full contract. So
45 days. You got 45 days, 45 games that you can play, and then you got to be signed to a contract.
I feel you. I wish Cornette actually played a lot more today. I was kind of surprised that Jeff didn't really put him in the game until it was garbage time.
Right. I think, and see, this is what guys, people are gonna have to get used to over these next 20 whatever games. He's going to be experimenting. Now, I know people say he experimented all season, and he didn't have the greatest rotations all season, but from now going forward really isn't the time to complain about rotations, because he's going to be trying guys out, seeing where guys fit. Some guys, it's going to be like preseason all over again. Some guys going to get playing time, some guys won't. So I think that a corner, I think he'll get his chances.
I guess
he probably wanted to give Isaiah Hicks a go tonight, see what he can do.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess as a fan, when I saw Cornette kind of go off in that first game, and he had double, like what was it, 10 points, 11 rebounds, 4 blocks. Mm-hmm. First NBA player to ever do that.
Yeah, 11 points, 11 rebounds.
Yeah. You would think he would get at least some type of burn. Hicks, to me, when I saw him in that first game, he wasn't really that impressive. Right. I don't know if he seemed like he was getting 2 blocks a game in the G League, and it seemed like that was kind of translating with the team. I guess, and I don't blame Hornacek for trading him. I just thought, he would just get some more burn.
For trading who? For trading who?
Huh?
You don't blame Hornacek for trading who? Billy?
Oh, not for trading. For playing. My bad. I'm sorry.
Oh, for playing him? Yeah.
Yeah. I guess you got to give the young guys a chance.
You got to give him a chance. I think that he probably still needs to play in the G League. You know, but you got to give him a chance, see what he can do, because you know he could have been nervous the first couple of games. He could have been nervous.
Right.
Maybe he needs to settle in. You know, give him a chance to see what he can do. Why not? You know, it can't hurt.
I feel you. Yo, I also have a question for you too about the Willie situation. Because do you feel like, considering the circumstances, KP going down with the ACL injury, Willie's whole complaint was he wasn't getting any kind of burn. So, you know, the opportunity presents itself now for him to get burned now that KP is down. Joakim Noah's out the picture. He's exiled with the Knicks. Do you think that the Knicks should have traded Willie for those 2 second-round picks, or actually kept them and, you know, actually give him some burn?
I think that everything you said is correct. Everything you said is correct. This would have been the perfect chance for him to play. I think the Knicks just basically said, we don't believe in him. That's my opinion. I don't think that they believed in him. I think that because, you know, he's a traditional center, kind of like Cantor. We already got a traditional center.
Yeah.
The league is going towards 5s that are shooting 3s. And
Yeah.
I think that, you know, with Luke Cornett, what we seen from him that night, I think that's the reason why I think they felt like we have somebody that can come in and produce in his spot, play a different game, you know, than Billy. You know what I'm saying? Play the kind of game that is more suited to today's NBA. And I think that's the reason why.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think in their mind, they did well because they didn't feel like they had a use for him, so they got 2 draft picks for him, 2 second-round draft picks for him. That's where I'm thinking about Billy.
Yeah, man, I agree with you, man. I almost felt like it was a smoke and mirror type of thing, man, because from the beginning, Willie's been struggling on the defensive end, and it was maddening watching him play sometimes. You know, he had an opportunity to actually kind of prove himself in that Phoenix game when KO was down and we only had Cantor and KP was down. And it felt like 1 minute into the game, he loses concentration. He's pretty much guarding nobody. He's standing on the rim by himself. I call it the Willie stance when he just stands there and guards nobody. Looks at the like what's happening. And he gets mad when his man scores. Like, he has too many mental lapses, and I don't get it. I don't get how you sit for that long and then you finally get your chance. Yeah. And then you just kind of like space out.
I get you. And I'm gonna answer that. I'm gonna let you go because we got some people calling in, but I'm gonna answer that though. Hey, Jonathan, thank you for the call, bro.
All right, man. No problem, bro.
Peace out, man.
All right, man.
I think part of the reason why, you know, Willie, I think, struggled sometimes when he got in. It's very hard for some players just aren't made to come off the bench and come right in and perform. You know, and you can never know which players are which. Some players can come off the bench and produce right away. You know, come right in playing hard, knocking down shots, whatever it is. Some players need a little bit more time to get their bodies warm, to get their mind firing on all cylinders. You know, and maybe Billy was that kind of guy. We don't know. I don't know. But for any player, I think if your minutes are up and down, all over the place, you know, you don't have a consistent amount of minutes, you know, it's hard for you to get a rhythm. You know what I'm saying? Hard for you to get a rhythm. And I think, you know, with Billy, I think the Knicks just didn't think that he had a place in today's league for them. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think that they felt that way. Billy was a guy that, of course, Phil Jackson pulled in to play the triangle. And, you know, a guy that could post up, shoot some mid-range shots. Not really the versatile center that we have in the NBA. You know, so, you know, we'll see where Willie goes. Where Billy goes. I keep saying Willie, where Billy goes. You know, we'll see what happens there. We got Daniel on the line. You know, Daniel, what's up, bro?
What's poppin'? Shout out to the chat.
For sure, definitely.
Yo, I have a question. Do you think that Tim Hardaway Jr., he's going to be a part of the future? Because every time I watch him now, it just seemed like he's not gonna be a part of the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? He's not a real three, and I just think that his way out the door is coming soon, unless he wants to take a bench role.
It's hard to say, man, because he's not a legitimate three. I don't think we're gonna know. I don't think we're gonna know until next year. Honestly, I think we'll know a little bit more by trade deadline of next year. I think we'll know a little bit more. And the reason why I say that is because I think the Knicks are going to try out, having 2 point guards on the floor and having Moody and Frank. I think in the second half, well, not second half of the season, but after the All-Star break, I think we're going to see that a lot more.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know why we didn't do that tonight, because it was working,
Yeah, I think
those games favor each other, and for that to only be the first game, not saying that that's gonna happen all the time, but Moutier hasn't practiced with the team, but for that to be on game one, I wonder how good could this really be, because you see, like when a player is filling another player, it's like it could complement each other's games. We seen that when Jeremy Lin was with the Knicks, and when Jeremy Lin, and remember with Landry Fields, when him and Landry Fields had that connection, and it was just like, it was different. Like before that, Landry Fields was just, regular player, but then when him and Lin had that complementary game, it really like helped out the chemistry. So that's what like I'm feeling with Frank and Moutier.
Yeah. And I think, I think that Frank and Moutier, they seemed like, at least in that first game, seemed like they had a natural connection. And, part of that is they were just playing ball. There was no...
Exactly.
Moutier didn't really know the plays. They were just hooping. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So I think that as far as Hardaway is concerned, I think that we're going to have to look and see what happens next year. The end of this year. See what his lineups look like if he plays Moutier and Frank together, Moutier and Trey, Frank and Trey, however, see what he does. And then next year, if he decides that he's going to go with 2 point guards, 2 playmaking guards, Frank and Moutier, let's say, then you got to figure out what happens at that 3 spot. Because then if we draft a 3-man,
then Hardaway probably is out the door.
If we draft a 3-man, then something's going to happen.
Yep.
Something's going to happen. And I think that the tough thing is his contract.
Yeah, no. But I think for the NBA, that's sort of worth the deal. I mean, what Perry did, I think he could make a package deal with Hardaway and Lee, or Hardaway and O'Quinn. He could make a package deal where they can go somewhere, I believe. Because Hardaway is a guy that's still pretty useful in the NBA if he's in the right system. I just think that Hardaway is not a player that you want to say, like, be a part of, like, like he's not the franchise player, but he's like close to it. I don't think he's worth that.
Yeah, he's definitely not the franchise player, and I'm not sure if he's a legitimate number 2 player. A 3 player, a 6-man. I really do. I just seen somebody. Who is it? Kayla says Hardaway is a 6-man. I kind of agree with that. Yeah. He plays like a 6-man.
Yeah, he plays like a 6-man.
A 6-man is a guy that can come in, launch up some. He can get hot real quick.
Yep.
But usually your 6-man, is going to be inconsistent. You know what I'm saying?
You're not asking him to basically, finish the game every night. You just know that some games he'll end the game, some games he'll not end the game.
Right. So we'll see how it works out. Well, I think the Knicks were hoping that with the way that Hardaway played last year at the end of the year, that he was ready to take that next step, and he still could be. But then again, we do have to remember that this is the first time in his career that he's had to
take a high role.
He's been one of the focal points of the team. It's the first time in his career where he's really been a focal point. one of the main guys. So it's an adjustment for him too.
But another thing I was saying, I mean, but see, then again, there we go with the coach, because last year he was forced to play defense, even though you could tell
True.
Hardaway he's not he's not known for his defense. He was forced to play defense. We have not seen that. So now it still has speculations like, okay, so just imagine if the Knicks had a defensive coach, could that help Hardaway?
Right.
So now, that's just the thing with the Knicks. It's like you just never know. It's like one minute the Knicks is moving with this, and then after they make a big move, they try to ignore the big move. That's why a lot of people were they were upset with the contract, because it's not that we don't want Hardaway, it's that you could have gotten him cheaper.
Probably could have. I think you could have got him cheaper, or you could have got him cheaper. Or you could have used that money to get two guys or something. Yep. The problem I think is he was signed before we had a GM. So he was signed before we had a real direction, I think.
Wow.
That was the issue, right? He was signed before Scott Perry got here. I think if Scott Perry was here, I don't think he gets that contract. And some different moves are made. That was, I think that was the issue right there. Steve Mills made that contract with Hardaway.
I have one more question, and I'll get off.
All right, cool.
Hardaway. What was I gonna say about Hardaway? Dag, I forgot. Oh, another thing I believe that when you pay a player, right, a high amount of money. See, I think that mentally they think because you gave them such a high amount of money that they believe that they have to, try to do too much. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you give that player that high contract, so he's now thinking, oh, I'm an important player, so I should be getting these touches because they gave me the money. But then when you give someone the type of contract, the level of their play, then you see they become more of the player that they're supposed to be. That's something that I always realize.
I agree with you.
In the
Definitely
league.
agree with you. And what Hardaway needs, though, he needs a hard knock coach.
Yep.
He needs a hard knock coach because he's a brat.
Woodson.
You know what I'm saying? He is a brat. You need a hard knock coach. That's what Hardaway needs. And I think you get a hard knock coach in here, you might see Hardaway excel a little bit more. You need a hard knock coach because he's
like
a brat.
Are you hard knock like that?
For sure. I don't play around with my players, man. I don't joke with them.
When it comes to defense too, man.
When it comes to defense, Daniel, I'm gonna let you go, but I'm gonna answer the question, all right? Because I know we got some other people that want to call in.
All right, thank you, man.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, bye.
All right, peace. Yeah, for sure. I am definitely one of them type of coaches. Listen, defense is everything for me. If players don't play defense, what I tell my players, I don't care. There's two things that take part of my philosophy. I don't care how many shots you take, as long as you take the right shots and the good shots. You can take 20 shots in the game. If they're the right shots, the good shots, I have no problem. You know what I'm saying? But you also better play defense. If you're not playing defense, then we're going to have issues. And I've had teams on the floor that were all defense. And when I say all defense, I mean I had this one team. We won a couple of championships, AAU championships. But we were all defense. We were the type of defensive team. We pressed all game. That's all we did is press. And the reason why we pressed is because we couldn't score. So we had to try to get easy layups in order to win games. You know what I'm saying? And even in getting those easy layups, we'd get 4 steals in a row and make 1 layup. That's the kind of that's how bad. These are all guys that had form and those type of things. They look like guys that, they had the right form and they had good fundamentals, but they just didn't have any touch on their shots. We had like 1 or 2 guys that could really go get us a bucket. But that was okay with me. We just mucked up the game and made the game dirty. And that's how I teach my players to play anyway. You know, I always, you know, put a scrappy team on the floor. You know, one of them AAU teams that you don't want to play because you're gonna leave with a lot of bruises. You better have your knee pads on because you know you're about to get dirty. That's the way. That's why I taught my guys. That's the way I teach my girls. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm coaching girls. So I got Ralph on the line. What's up, Ralph? What's popping, bro? Can you hear? I can't hear you, Ralph. You're not. Hey, Ralph, you wasn't coming through. I don't know what happened. Maybe you had a little technical difficulty. But yeah, that's how I teach my players to play. You know, that's what it is. So let's move on. Let's talk about some draft prospects. As we speak, Triple G, you say, do I coach full court press all day long? I like to press the whole game. That's the way I like to play. I like to put pressure on the other team. You know what I'm saying? I don't like just letting the other team dribble up the floor, picking them up at half court, let them get into their offensive sets. I like pressure the whole game. You know what I'm saying? When other teams come up against us, I want them to feel nervous dribbling the ball and rushing them and taking them out of everything that they do. So I teach all my players pressure. I don't really like to play zone. I will play zone, but I don't really like to play zone. I like to put pressure on the other team. I don't like them to get comfortable at all. You know what I'm saying? Rasley, I'll get at you in 1 minute, bro. I don't like them to get comfortable at all. I like to put pressure from the tip to the last whistle. I like to put pressure on the ball, make the team feel uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Take them out of what they want to do. That's just the way I play. You know what I'm saying? Rasley, did I say your name right? How did I say your name?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I can't believe I'm on your call. It's new to me.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for calling in. We appreciate having you.
Of course, man. First of all, thank you so much. It's really good to hear fresh ideas right after the game because we all need to vent out. It's frustrating as it is.
Yeah, definitely, man. And we got a lot of people in the chat that got a lot of good ideas. So it's always fun to go back and forth, share ideas. I just wish sometimes that the team was listening in because we got a lot of good ideas here.
That's no doubt, absolutely.
Yeah. So what's your what was your view of the game tonight? What you think about the game?
Hey man, let me tell you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm trying to look at this as a whole. You know, where we at and where we're going to be and how we're going to get there.
Right.
You know, that's what I'm trying to figure it out. And I feel like we really need some fundamental changes in the team and the way we play if we want to be a championship team. Our best guy is down now, you know, and that's a big blow. So what do? You just try to play conventionally and see what you can, you know, where you're going to fall on the league, or you're gonna try to come up with a different types of play and see if you can challenge some of these people. Because it looks like so far we're doing a good job, like playing entire game all the way up to third quarter. We have a lot of, you know, mistakes and everything, but they all look like it can be changed. But we definitely need a different approach.
Yeah.
One thing it's bothering me. I like to hear what you think about this. Is our new guys Moutier and Nilly. You know, I like their game. I like it that they've got the size and everything, but I just don't see the look on their face. Like you see the guy McCollum or whatever his name is today. He destroyed us every night.
Right.
Our guys don't have that look. I'm not talking about the talent. I think we got better talent than these dudes. But when you look at our players and their faces, it just doesn't look like they're out there to get you. You know what I mean? I played sports all my life. And when you step in there, I don't care who you play. You play to win. And you have to have that look on your face. And I just don't see that. The only guy I see who has that, you know, look, it's Canner. He comes up there, he battles. He doesn't give a rat's if you're 10 points down, 20 points down. Dude brings it every night.
I hear you. I
You
know
know,
exactly
and
what you
that
mean.
bothers me. So, like, where's that going to leave us? Are these guys are going to really develop and become? Do you think that they will develop and become somebody like really, go-getters, or they just going to be good athletic people? They're going to put up some numbers, but we're going to get our ass kicked every time.
Yeah,
Like what do you think?
I agree with you. You gotta have that look. That look puts fear in people. Like when you're out on the floor and Russell Westbrook is out there and he
Yeah.
starts staring you down, you get
Oh yeah,
nervous,
that's what I'm
right?
talking about.
You get a little bit nervous. You're like, oh man, what am I
Exactly.
gonna do? And you
Exactly.
start shaking you start shaking in your Nikes or something.
Exactly.
And we I wonder if it's because even Moutier and Frank, they're just a little bit.
It's soft. Say it.
They're a
They
little
look
bit.
too soft.
I don't want to say that they're soft. Especially with Frank. I think with both of them, But Moutier played.
Oh,
played
I
in the
lost you there.
States.
What you said?
He played in high school in the States. Moutier played high school in the States, but with Frank, he's coming from a different type of game where they don't have that same type of the mentality is a little bit different. So I think you have to. That may be something that Frank needs to try to develop. I don't know. I don't know if it's in him or not. He has a little bit of toughness in him because we've seen him stand up to LeBron.
Yes,
We've seen him get into a couple of little scuffles here and there. But that look, I know what you mean. That look that says, I'm coming at you.
You know what I'm talking about. Like we all played sports. When you're a competitive, you're a competitive. You won't care if it's Mike Tyson in front of you. You're just going to say, like, you know what? See what you can do. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the type of player. Look at the Mitchell. The dude is new too, but look at his attitude, man.
That's
He's a pit bull. He is coming at you. He doesn't care. He doesn't care if he's going to shot 1 for 20. Like, same thing with Hardaway. I feel like this dude is like shooting us out the game all the time. He's not playing smart. I mean, no one can stop him if he drives the ball in. Most of the time, he's going to get to where he wants to be. But he just falls short in his desire to take these threes, and he shoots 33% for career. That's his career shooting at 3 points. What is he thinking? Somebody has to take him aside and slap him in the face and say, hey, you think you're going to be a 60% shooter overnight? Like, what are you trying to do?
Right. There you go.
I mean, like, seriously, we need Popovich on the side calling him up and say, hey, dude, when was the last time you shoot over 33%? Like, when was it? Why are you taking 20 shots every night?
Exactly. Like I don't know if you've seen the clip, but Patrick Ewing, he sat down one of his players, pulled him out the bench, pulled him out the game, or they was in a timeout. He said, "Why you take that shot?" He said, "Did you practice that shot?" I mean, and he got on him. The kid said, he said, "Yeah, I practiced that shot." He was like, "When?" He cursed at him and everything. When? When'd you practice that shot? That's what you need.
And that's a good one. Popovich, he would probably slap you in the face if you keep shooting these threes. And I don't care how good the three looks. He's got a perfect rotation, and I know how he is shooting because I personally think I got a perfect rotation too. But I have a horrible percentage. I don't, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I feel like he's there, but you know what the thing is? This dude could come every night and score 15 points, no problem, with the higher percentage. But he thinks of himself. It's so hard to explain, but I feel like he thinks of himself like what's his name? Playing with Miami right now.
Waiters.
I forgot. He played, from Thunder. They traded him up to Miami. He thinks of himself like a LeBron, but he's not. He just shoots the team off the game. I can't remember his name right now.
Deion Waiters.
You got it, dude.
Deion Waiters. Yeah.
I feel like he's got the same mentality. If he comes to his senses and understand that this is his limit, and he can only push a little bit above that, not like come up there and try to win the game and play a hero game every night. He's just taking the team down.
Right.
I mean, that's my take on it. I just don't see that, winning a championship with, Tim Hardaway. If you're talking about this year, next year, it's just like he's just going to be a guy to, get rid of. I don't think that he can in a winning championship team. You don't need that attitude. You need like pit bulls. You need Kenner. You need like KP. You need, a few other guys. They're up there literally battling, night after night.
I agree with you. And Hardaway, like we said earlier, Hardaway is kind of bratty, kind of a brat. Crybaby, whines a lot.
I don't
pouts,
get that.
Pouts. I don't like that.
what do you think people think of him as a teammate? Like, he comes up there, he just, everybody's battling. He just keeps doing this stuff. Like, what do you think they think? I don't even know what they think.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be interested to see how it is in that locker room. Because he's kind of bratty. He is kind of bratty. I'd be interested to see how he is. But Razdi, we got some other people that's trying to call in. I really appreciate the call. I hope that you definitely call back. Great conversation.
Absolutely. Hey, look, it's my first time. I appreciate the chat, and my apologies keeping you on the phone a long time.
Oh, no, it's cool, man.
It's a good surprise for me as well. Let me ask you one question, though. Just, if you could answer this, whenever you get a chance. Like, I feel like, like I said, we could do a fundamental change in the way we play. So how about getting the bigs shooting threes? Making our bigs playing the three-ball game.
Yeah.
Because, most people don't know Kenner can shoot threes. This dude can shoot threes.
Yeah.
So it's KP. Why not get him up top and just see if they can do it? What do you think? Is that even doable?
Well, I think it's definitely doable. I think that's the way that they would like to play. I think that that's part of the reason why Billy's no longer here. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not really he's kind of a traditional center.
Yeah.
Cantor, I think he's taking maybe two threes.
Yeah.
Right. I think that he probably needs to keep working on it. But look at Embiid. He wasn't always shooting threes. He's shooting threes now.
Yeah, look, I watch Kenner. I'm from Turkey. I know him for a long time. This dude, I've seen him taking threes, knocking him. Like one season, he averaged more than 40%. It was ridiculous.
Wow.
And he can shoot threes.
And maybe they need to give it a try. If Cantor can hit some threes and pull those big guys out, man, that'd be tough to stop.
It would be huge. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like something different, like out of ordinary.
Right.
Anyways, I don't want to hold you on the phone. You do your thing. I appreciate it, and my apologies to everyone keeping you on the phone. But thank you so much for being, online every night after the game. I don't know how I'm gonna went out. Like sometimes, Twitter is not good enough.
Right. Hey, thank you for the call, man.
Same, man. Same.
Right,
I'm still with you, so take care. Okay.
Definitely. Have a good one.
All right. You too, brother.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, the game is changing. You know what I mean? And we've got to change with it. And I think that's part of the reason why Billy isn't here. He's not that kind of a center. And as Cantor, he's more of your traditional center. But if these guys, they've got to expand their game, and they've got to start to expand it out to the 3-point line if they want to be viable. Those kind of centers that's in the NBA, if they want to be viable, they got to expand it out to the 3-point line. That's the way the game is going. That's the way the game is going. But let's talk about some draft prospects. All right, let's talk about it because, we know that's the way that we're going. So I'm going to pull up, and I know you guys going to love it. I'm sure you've been on it. Tankathon. We're going to look at Tankathon. All right, and right now, the New York Knicks in the Tankathon are 9th. Okay, so right now we have the 9th draft pick in the Tankathon standings. All right, and you could do a simulation out here to kind of simulate who would get what where. And Wendell Carter, that's who they say. Right now that that looks like we have that we can get. So it's a nice website. You got draft power rankings, and our power ranking is 10. Okay. We got the 9th, right now current draft picks looks like we would be 9th and 38th. All right. So, it's a good draft pick. Tells us some things that we need to know. But let's take a look. So our mock draft, Wendell Carter. So right now, if the season were to stop today, right, we would be looking, in this area. Well, if the season were to stop today, we'd be in this 9th spot. But we're probably looking somewhere in this area, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to say 8, 9, 10. That's probably where we're looking right now. in that 8, 9, 10 area. So you're looking at possibly these guys here, maybe. Who knows? Who knows? But as we move up, if we move up in the draft position, then we'll look at guys that's a little bit higher, right? But let's see who this Wendell. Let's check out Wendell Carter a little bit. Wendell Carter, freshman at Duke, power forward, 6'10", 7'3" wingspan, 257 pounds. He's 18 years old right now. Hometown is Atlanta, Georgia. High school, Pace Academy. Okay. All right. Hey, French Unicorn, what's popping, bro? Give me a couple of minutes, all right? High school, Pace Academy. You see, well, we don't really have his percentages up there. Well, strengths. I'm sorry. His strengths, 3-point percentage. Effective field goal percentage is high. Win shares. It's not bad. It's not bad. Definitely not bad. At this point right now, 25 games played, 26.9 minutes. He's averaging 14 points and 9 rebounds a game. For Duke. Per 36 minutes, 19.3 points, 12.6 rebounds per 36 minutes. So there we have it. If you want to take we can take a quick look at our guy. But let's get Frenchie on the line and see what's popping. Talk to my man French a little bit, and then we'll get back into these draft prospects. Hey, French man, have you looked at the draft at all?
Not really. I know about Lukic a little. I've been watching some of his videos. Trey Burke. I mean, not Trey Burke. The other Trey. Say his name. The young Curry-like guy.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Porter,
Trey.
Bridges. Yeah, just like the big names so far. But I'll get deeper into it as the season gets closer to the end. See where we're really at, because right now we're losing every game. So by the end we could be number one. I mean, what are we, 7 in a row?
Huh?
What are we now? 7
in a row. 7 in a row. We've lost 7 in a row right now. And yeah, it definitely could be that way. We'll see how far this tank takes us.
Tankathon sounds like our anthem. We should come to the
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if you're looking at the screen now, but you can see Wendell Carter. That's what Tankathon has us taking Wendell Carter.
What is he? What
from Duke? He's a power forward, 6'10" power forward.
Yeah, but what do we need up another power forward?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure how accurate that is, right?
Yeah.
Because why would we take a power forward? I know who's marked, or not who's marked. Somebody, whoever it was, would like to see us take a big. But if we take a big, there has to be a center, and I want I want a long center. Power forward, we got KP at the power forward spot, so he's a stretch 4. I don't think he ever wants to really be a bona fide 5-man. I think he wants to stay at that stretch 4 spot, and I don't know if we're gonna have a need to take a power forward, not a power forward that if you're gonna get another power forward, you want a power forward that's gonna come off the bench, not a starter.
Yeah, not in the draft with your number 1 pick, and we definitely don't need another guard. I mean, a wing player or a rim protector. That would be my thought process as far as big needs for us. We're definitely not going to draft another point guard. We got 3 young guys. We're not going to draft a power forward because we got KP. Unless KP, from the injury might decide, I got hurt. Let me move to the 5. I might not have to be as mobile. You never know.
Now that could be,
If
that
happens,
could be
power forward.
Yeah, that definitely could be. I got a couple highlights up of Big shout out to Frankie Vision there. A couple of highlights of Wendell Carter on the screen now. But that could be, with KP's injury, and that's a great question to ask the chat. With KP's injury, does KP now look to move more to that center position? And if so, then maybe you do bring in a power forward. Who knows? I guess it's going to depend on how he comes back. How he comes back and how his knee responds to it.
And if he doesn't get active right away, he might bulk up a little bit too, might put on that little bit of weight. I've been through, recoveries, and you put on weight right away because you're not as active, you're not moving around, and that knee is going to take him off his feet. So you never know how KP comes back and what, And that might not even be for next year's draft. That might be for the year after, to evaluate that too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, that's definitely true because, he had surgery on Tuesday, so
tomorrow.
He has surgery tomorrow, and so he'll by the time draft comes, hopefully he'll be into his rehab. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then. Yeah, and then we'll see what happens. But I think the Knicks should stick with looking at a small forward. That's what we really need, and we need a long small forward because we're playing very small at that small forward spot.
We need somebody athletic, a real athlete, like somebody that could complement Moutier, or somebody that could run the floor.
Right. We need athletes. Definitely need athletes. And Scott Perry has said it. He wants athletes. You know what I'm saying? We need athletes. We play teams that have athletes. We can't keep up. We can't play with them because we just don't have those athletes out there. You know what I mean?
You could tell that's the biggest missing piece is an athlete. Even Moutier, when he came in the first game, you could see the difference, how much quicker we were getting into our offense. Mm-hmm. Even though today we went right back to that same plotting bullshit. Oh my God, it was so sickening today.
Yeah.
What a game.
But yeah, so this is this where we are. This is what the season come to. We looking at draft picks, seeing what's happening, seeing what's popping with draft picks. So Tankathon has us taking Wendell Carter. I tend to think we're gonna take a small forward. So I want to take a look at some small forwards, But hey, couldn't get you on last night, man. But I'm glad you called in tonight.
Oh yeah, man, no worries. I was only teasing last night. Anyway, I was waiting for everybody to get off, and then when you were saying good night, I was just teasing you about that.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. But hey, I'm gonna let you rock French.
All right.
So we can.
Shout out to all the guys, Marty, Nick, Mel, who's Mark, all the guys. Always good talking to you guys.
For sure, man.
Have a good night.
All
Let's go. Let's go Tankathon.
Let's go.
All right. Peace.
Peace out, man. Yeah, a lot of prospects, but I think that we probably stick with. I think we're probably going to stick with a small forward. That would be my move, sticking with a small forward. When we pull this over here, guys that's going to be in our range, Mikal Bridges, Miles Bridges, Kevin Knox. These guys are going to be in our, they're going to be in our range. Armando, thank you. Appreciate the super chat, bro. You say, do you think we can go from being center heavy to having one cornet? I'm not sure if the Knicks are going to keep Cantor and O'Quinn. We'll have to see. I think next year, Cantor's definitely going to be on the team next year. He has a player option. So I think that he's going to opt in to his he's definitely going to opt in. I think that Kyle O'Quinn will probably be gone, and they're looking to see what Cornet can do. I don't know, I want to see him some more. and see how he can move his feet on defense. He got a couple of blocks. There weren't, blocks coming from the weak side. So I want to see him on defense a little bit more. See how good of a defender he is. But I'm not sure how athletic he is. He can shoot threes. I think we need somebody down there that's athletic, a little bit more athletic. Okay. My man, Thomas from the French Knicks podcast. What's happening? What's popping with you, bro?
I'm good, and you? How are you?
I'm doing good, Make sure you give a shout out to the chat, man.
Shout out to the chat. I have so many things to talk with you, but I will doing really fast.
Okay, go for it. I'm gonna put the clock on. We kind of, I'm gonna let you go for it, but we're talking about the draft a little bit, looking at future prospects.
I will begin with the draft prospect. Yeah, like it's my favorite part of the year.
Okay.
For the NBA. So the only man we need is Miles Bridges. He is the only man we need. I told you last month, and it's still the case for the Knicks. And I will explain to the chat. And like many men in the chat say with me, Miles Bridges had big heart. He wanted to play for the Knicks last year, but he promised to Tom Izzo in Michigan State coach to make one more year, And 3 days ago, he made a 3-point shot to win the game. And he was so strong. He was all the Knicks need. Against the Sixers, he is a dog. We need dog. Like Frank is, he is a dog. But Frank is, he's French man and he's a rookie, so he can't say to Jack, come on, man, push the pace. And today, I was so bad. And you say, I see, he's 5:30 in France, and I can't sleep. I see your shows. You said with Mark so good things today. I'm so okay with what you said, but
yeah, it's tough, and the rest of the season is gonna be like this too. So you said Miles Bridges?
Yes, Miles Bridges, 100%. He's the man. He is the man. Yeah, I want nobody else. We want Miles Bridges.
Okay, we got him up on the screen right now. Sophomore, small forward / power forward from Michigan State. 17.8 points per game, 7.1 rebounds per game. 37% from three. Of course, that's at the college line.
Do you see all these trends? The only weakness he has is the steal. So if he can bring us everything else, it's perfect. He has big heart. He is a real dog. He wants to play for the Knicks. He is a fighter. He is like Hunter. He is like Frank. When you see, like we said on my show, and you say many times on your life, Hardaway is not a dog. He is a tricky shooter. In his head, he think he is like, Klay Thompson. A good shooter, a streaky shooter, but he's not. You know that. Today he was 0-7 for the 3-point line. He is still shooting. So man, if you are not a good day, you can do other things. You can defense. You can make assist with Frank when he's open, and on that shake is so bad. You can't play 34 minutes when you are so bad like today. And I want to say one more thing today about the game, because while Miles Bridges could be a perfect fit for the Knicks, we need a small forward, like you say many times, like I say many times, and like the chat say. And when you have, mismatch like Covington with Jared Jack on defense, it's not possible. When you have Hardaway on Covington, it's not possible. Covington is 6'9". You can't have, a 6'3" like Jared Jack, or 6'5", like other way. You can make a 6'7" like Miles Bridges, 250 pounds, I think. So he's a big man, a big dude, you know.
Yeah,
really
left-handed.
strong.
Yeah, we're watching highlights right now.
Yeah, I see on the
courtesy
show.
of
Like, I
THC.
saw the highlights. He is strong. He is really strong, and Frank did a pretty good first half. You know, down 2, and he don't play 1 second in the third quarter, and we lost 12 points the third quarter, I think. So you see the problem with on that check. Onachek don't trust in Frank, I told you. And if we want to lose Frank, it's the best way to do that. Frank is like Giannis, is like Tony Parker. It's a long-term, you know, processes.
Yeah.
And if you don't trust in Frank, he's so bad. Like you said, Steve Mills make mistake, you know, with a 4-year deal with Onachek and take other way 4 years, 71 million. Scott Perry never take other way with 71 million deal. I don't like Onachek. You said the truth. He's not the good coach to develop the players. You said so many great things in the show. I want your opinion about what I said about Bridges, Frank, and Onachek.
All right, man.
And other way.
Yeah, definitely. Well, hey, I'm gonna answer your questions. I'm gonna let you go because we got some other people that's gonna call in.
Sorry for the sound yesterday. Today is better, and thank you for the opportunity all the time. You can come in our show, and so great you answer to my question, and I will listen to the rest of the show.
Okay, all right, and I did get your message, and yeah, I'll definitely try to get on this week.
Okay, anytime you want in the show, I will this week for all the Knicks fans. I will do a podcast with Simeon. We'll talk 2 hours about the Knicks. It will be a long, you know, process about the Knicks and the direction for the future. Like you said every time with me about the coach, the Frank, you know, other way, everything.
Right, definitely. So, all right, Thomas, I appreciate it, and you know, thank you for the call. That was Thomas from the French Knicks podcast.
As always, bro.
For sure.
Love you.
And I'm still waiting. When you guys get a chance to get back in the pub and everyone's there.
In the 15 March, I think.
Okay. All right. Definitely. I will, you know, Skype in with the crew from the pub. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to let you rock, man. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Appreciate it. What's going on? Who's on the line? This is Simeon. Emmanuel, what's popping, bro? Hey, give me 1 second.
Give me a second.
Yeah, give me a second. Let me answer my man from the French Knicks podcast because he was, you know, the one thing, you know, he asked about Miles Bridges. You know, I haven't seen a whole lot. I do like what I seen there, and you know, I've seen some highlights and some things like that from Miles Bridges, and I've you know watched him play a little bit. Big guy, strong, versatile. Go to the basket, can post up a little bit. He can go to basket, post up a little bit. He can shoot the 3. Miles Bridges, I mean, you know, 6'7", 230 pounds. That's the kind of size, length that we want there. I wouldn't even mind it being longer. I wouldn't mind 6'8", to be honest with you, though. Yeah, wouldn't even mind it being 6'8". You know, I like a lot of length. I think length, you know, that helps you have that helps you defensively when you have a lot of length. Emmanuel, what's popping, bro?
What's good, bro? Nah, what I wanted to hit off first with development, because I was saying it on the chat. The Knicks, when's the last time the Knicks had a homegrown talent? We don't have homegrown talent. The Knicks as an organization, I understand Hornacek is terrible with rotations. He's not developing Frank well. There's also an article saying that his where we expected Frank to be is not where he's at right now, and that's partly because of Hornacek, but also is our developmental staff. The Knicks haven't been able to develop a player in a long time.
Right.
When's the last time you've seen somebody that the Knicks developed?
I agree with you. I agree with you. I think that I was going to, and I didn't do it. I wish that I would have did it when Phil Jackson was fired and Steve Mills took over. I was just gonna write up a strategic plan for the Knicks and send it to him, just cause. I wish I would have did it, But when Scott Perry came in, I had confidence in him. Not that they were gonna pay any attention to it. I was just gonna do it, just cause. They probably would have thrown it in the trash. Who knows? But one of the things that I think the Knicks need to do, instead of taking, and maybe this is Scott Perry's plan, I don't know, but instead of always taking money, putting them in the coaches, because there is no salary cap on your coaches, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of taking and putting money into paying a big name coach all these millions of dollars, or GMs all these $20 million and everything like they did with Phil Jackson, you need to take that money, put it into your developmental team.
They're not gonna do that.
You know what I'm saying? Put it into your scout team. Get guy in who is a salary cap guru. You know what I mean? Put some money into those areas, because you can have the greatest coach in the world, but if you don't have good players, you're not going to be successful. It's got to go hand in hand. You need to have good coaches. You got to have good players, and you got to be able to develop your players. You got to be able to scout out, because when you're in a situation where, that's why teams like the Spurs and the Warriors continuously get good players, because they have scouts, and then they can develop those players when they bring them in. They can see what kind of tools a player has. Then say, let's bring this player in because they have these tools, and then let's develop these players. That's what we need to be able to do. We need to be able to scout players, then bring them in and develop them. You know what I'm saying?
And that right there, the problem right there, what you were saying, that's a Steve Mills problem. Because the guy that we had last season, that he was our developmental coach, that he was cool with KP, he fired him.
Right.
After he fired him, he got a job as a head coach in the G League, and now his team is doing great in the G League, and the kids love him. He's about 40 years old. He's young. He's relatable. And the Knicks let him go because they didn't want to re-sign him. I don't know if it was whether because he's cool with KP, or it was because he demanded too much money. I don't know what it was, but that's a Steve Mill problem. And so we get rid of Steve Mill, we're gonna be horrendous. And I know people are saying get rid of Dolan, but Dolan is gonna be there no matter what. So the next guy up besides Dolan, you gotta get rid of the president. Once you get rid of the president that he has us in cuffs right now, then we're not gonna change. But at least he's letting Perry do his thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's not getting in the way of Perry as of right now. The next thing is like Hardaway. Hardaway's been, like, I've been playing around calling him Tim Chuckaway. Like, he's been tucking shots. Like, that's what he's been doing. And what's crazy is, like how you said, he needs a stern coach. And that's 100% true. Because what happened when he went to Atlanta? He started doing that bullshit in Atlanta, and in Atlanta they sent him to the G League.
Exactly.
Go get yourself right. Go get yourself right. When you get yourself right, you come back up. He got himself right. He came back up. The Knicks signed him. He came back to the Knicks, started feeling himself, thought he was more than what he is. Now he's chucking up shots like yo. Every time he takes a shot, I cringe, bro.
Yeah, I feel you.
I kid you not. I cringe.
I feel you.
It's ridiculous. I'm like,
yeah, that what you were talking about with the coach, the developmental coach that they let go. I think it was more Hornacek. I think it was Hornacek. From what I read, Hornacek said, we got a lot of, he had a lot of assistant coaches, so they just didn't. His contract was up. They just didn't re-sign him. Which is too bad because we need developmental coaches. We need good developmental coaches.
Listen,
that's the way you're gonna win.
Listen, the Knicks move funny because you know who else they let go that all the NBA players are running to now? Chris Brinkley. Yep. Chris Brinkley was a part of the Knicks, and they let him go too. So I'm telling you, it's not only Hornacek. It's an organizational issue. And these dudes, until they get it right, we're gonna be suffering as fans, and it's sad. It's sad.
I hear you, man. I'm with you. I'm with you 100%, man.
And lastly, I just wanted to say I told you so about Luke Cornett. I told you,
Yeah.
yo, don't get ahead of yourself. Don't get ahead of yourself. Same thing, yo. I'm saying the same thing with Moutier, yo. I see a lot of Frank and Moody. I see a lot of Moutier Frank or Frank and Moutier, however you want to say it. And the reason why I say that is because they're 2 years apart, but it's like I feel like Moutier is just an older version of what Frank is right now. Like if that ain't makes any sense, it's just like a lot of things that I'm seeing between the two,
Mm-hmm.
in between their game, but that's just me. I don't know, but I just wanted to leave you off on that. I just wanted to go off a little.
Yeah. Yeah. Knicks fans always jump overboard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean that's how it is, yo. I trust me. You're not the only one. I felt the same way, but I just wasn't seeing what you were seeing in Cornette or what other people were seeing in Cornette. I wasn't seeing it, and I'm not gonna.
I still think that, I mean, he didn't play much tonight. I think they wanted to get hit some burn. I think he moves in the right spots. I think he knows where to be.
I'm not gonna. That I 100% agree with you.
I think he moves in the right spots. With him, it's gonna be, is he hot that day? Is he knocking down threes or not?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
100%. Because he's smart. He's smart. The only problem is you got to be patient with him, and for him to develop. And the thing is, he's already older than KP. So
yeah,
how long are you willing to wait?
Right. He's already older. That's why I put him at. I put him. I say that he's a discount double check guy. I think he's that.
Nah, he's not that, bro.
You know what I'm saying? I think he shoots like that. I mean, I think he could be.
Hell no.
I think he shoots like that. I think he can shoot that way. I think that he might be better defensively and can rebound more. You know what I'm saying? So
you can't compare it. You can't really compare their games. I don't think so, because it's two different positions. Novak was a little bit quicker. Yo, pull up tape, bro, and when you see it, you be like, "Damn, Emmanuel was right." Just give me my credit, bro, because I know what I'm telling you.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I think that he's probably more athletic than Novak. Novak was just a 3-point shooter. That's really all he could do.
Yeah, it was a different era of basketball too. So Novak was just really a spot-up shooter, but Novak was clutch. When Novak would shoot that ball, boy, I'm telling you, it was the majority of the time it was going in. And he hit a lot of big shots for us. He put us in the playoffs.
Yeah,
he helped us get into the playoffs. So
he did. He could hit. He could hit. I mean, Novak was money. When Novak put it up, I mean, for the most part, anytime he shot it, I felt it was going in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I think Cornet plays the same style of game. I think, that's what he does. He's a 3-point shooter. You know what I'm saying? And I think we'll see what he does. But yeah, he was a senior coming out, right? He was a senior coming out of high school. Out of college.
At the Vanderbilt. Yeah, I think so. I believe so.
Yeah, he was a senior. So, I mean, and he's not like super talented. He don't have, he did, super athletic and talented. So it's only so much more he's going to be able to do.
Yeah, he's a little late to the party. So it depends on how long. See, like we not the Spurs. You know what I'm saying? Pop knows how to develop his players. Anybody coming through the Spurs, anybody coming through the Spurs or through Miami, they know how to develop their players over there.
Yeah.
The Knicks, man, that's not us.
I know, man. I know. Hopefully we get there. Hey, man, I'm because I'm about to be off in about 10 minutes. Appreciate the call. But definitely we're gonna watch Cornet. We're gonna watch Cornet, and we're gonna give you your due.
Nah, he's gonna have his on and off games, but it's not gonna be like what he had that first game.
Yeah, he's gonna have his on and off games. He's gonna have his on and off games. Hey, I appreciate the call, man.
All right, no doubt.
All right, appreciate the call, and I'll check you when we play next. Wednesday night. Check you Wednesday night after the game.
All right, no doubt.
All right, peace out.
Peace.
Yeah, big shout out to Emmanuel for calling in, and we're gonna watch and see what Luke Cornett does. You know what I mean? See what's popping with Luke Cornett. I want to give a shout out to the French Unicorn for the super chat. He said good night to everybody. 6 a.m. comes real quick. He's right about that. It's 11:56, almost 12 o'clock. Marty Nix said, I want to give a shout out to Marty for the super chat. He gave a big shout to French Unicorn. Called him a legend. Yes, sir. So there we go. We covered 2 people tonight. Looked at 2 people. We looked at Wendell Carter. We took a look at the other dude there, Miles Bridges. You know, when we get on next time, we get on the next show after the next game, we'll take a look at a couple of other guys that might fall within our range. You know what I mean? I don't want to do them all in one night. We got to save something for the next time. But I'm sure we'll have a lot of time to look at some of these draft picks. We play Wednesday night versus the Washington Wizards. It should be interesting. Interesting to see Moutier go up against John Wall is hurt, so we won't see Moutier go up against John Wall. So it's going to be, so that'll be something that we miss out on. We'll get to see it in the future. All right, so we play the Washington Wizards. Game time is at 7:30 p.m. Game is at Madison Square Garden. Be able to see it on the Madison Square Garden network. And, hopefully, what I'm looking for that game again is just to see, I just want to see where these young guys fit together. I want to see Frank rebound because he didn't play well tonight. Moutier, he was okay tonight. Wasn't his best game, so, and I hope that he doesn't start to think too much. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he doesn't start to think too much about plays and all that type of stuff and just play his game. I still think that Moody and Frank can be good together. Can be. I'm always going to preface everything with can be. Because we just don't know. Hopefully we do see more of Luke Cornett. And I want to see some more Trey Burke. I want to see more Trey Burke, more Damian Dotson. Definitely want to see them two play a little bit more. And I really want to see Damian Dotson. I want to see Hornacek just get that man some real minutes. He had a chance earlier in the season, but he still didn't get real minutes. I want to see Dotson get some real minutes and play. You know what I'm saying? Get some real minutes and play. I'm pretty sure Bradley Beal is probably going to bust up Tim Hardaway a little bit. Because Tim Hardaway he's not playing well. And mentally, he's not there. Bradley Beal, he's the man right now. You know what I'm saying? So he's there. He's ready. And he's intent on carrying the Wizards into the playoffs. So I think he's focused right now. You know what I'm saying? I think he's focused. So, we'll see what's going to go on in this Knicks and Wizards game. I'll definitely be on after the game. We can, look at some more draft picks, talk about what's going on in the game, talk about these young guys' development. You know what I mean? Oh, 1 second before I get off. Jeffrey, you say you feel like Dotson is a more athletic Baker. I think he'll be better than Baker. I think he can be way better than Baker, in my opinion. He's just, he hasn't gotten into, he just hasn't gotten his rhythm in yet. You know what I'm saying? And give him a little bit. I think he'll be all right. I just want to see him. I think if Tim Hardaway wasn't here, Dotson would have played a lot more, and we'd be thinking very differently about Dotson. But because we got Tim Hardaway, he hasn't really got that chance. You know what I'm saying? Ralph on Real, he said, when I'm going to tell you about freelance, you know, I'm going to, man. It's just, I have a lot of projects on my plate, so I haven't been able to really knock out some of those individual videos, but I want to talk about the freelance, and of course I want to talk about owning some of the Knicks. I'm going to get to it, man. I just trying to knock out some of these projects I got going on. But I'm going to definitely get to it. Thank you for reminding me, too. Thank you for reminding me. But I'm about to head up out of here. Hope y'all have a good night. You know what I'm saying? Don't take the loss. Don't take the lack of effort and all that thing and all that stuff too hard. You know what I'm saying? It's the New York Knicks. What do we expect? It's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Let's be easy. Let's rest easy. Get our minds ready, set, prepared for the next game. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to catch y'all later. Peace. If you like these videos, please subscribe below. Ring the bell. You get a notification anytime that I go live. Check out these videos over here. Stay updated on the New York Knicks. Talk some scuttlebutt. Talk rumors. Talk about drafts. Draft picks. Potential draft picks. Peace.